Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Breaking Bedrock. My name is Fiasco. Thank you so much for joining me, and happy Pride Month to everyone. I figured when I made my new statue, which does look pretty derpy, but I don't think it's a terrible representation of me, actually. I even got some fancy coral on the bottom to stay red for my kicks. But with my statue, I figured I would also put a flag up, and seeing how I am a great ally of the community, I would fly the pride flag. So, happy Pride, everyone. Now, on to business. Oh, I'm getting better at that. We are going to be working on our Portabella today. Just a few improvements, and as you can see, I have already made a significant improvement in the way of another building. This is kind of my almost inspired by a church. I needed a place for my clerics, and I think that this does quite nicely. I also wanted a bigger building in here because all the buildings that we've made so far have been quite small, so this really does help to fill it out quite a bit and just kind of give it more of a town feel. So this space really needed something. So now we have our kind of semi-gothic cathedral type thing that I'm going to put some clerics into. Nothing fancy with their holding cells. The interiors of these things will stay pretty bare bones just because I need to, I need to allot my resources, and time is my biggest resource. So right now, I am just going through the process of trading up or getting converted some more villagers for trading. And is this one almost done converting? Yeah, this is his final conversion. Oh, and there we go. Voila. So now we can send our friend off that way. And we should see him pop out any moment here. There we go. Up on into his space. So I think I am going to do 10 clerics. That seems like a good number, although this kind of worked out unevenly. So maybe I'll do 12 because there is room for 6 in here. And I'll probably do another line right here, or maybe even on top, and see if we can fit another occupation in here as well, because it is quite a big building just for the 10 guys, so we should probably use the space if we have it. So I'll work on it, what I want to do there, if I want to stack them or not later on. But for the meantime, unfortunately, converting these guys does take quite some time. Totally worth it though to have the just make sure he links. Beautiful. To have the trade for 1 rotten flesh per emerald. And I've got a lot of rotten flesh. So let's see here. I should be able to get these 3 trades easy. And there we go. And we're even unlocking some other great stuff. So glowstone is perfect. Ender pearls, gonna be great. We need those always. And even lapis when we need it. So I don't have to farm that anymore. Now, I probably won't be trading gold because we do need that for other things. But now I don't need to mine for lapis or redstone. And that is a huge benefit. Basically, the only thing that I need to mine for right now is... No, there's nothing. I don't need to mine for any resource now, except for, stone and whatnot. I mean, like the ores. We have an iron farm. We can trade for redstone and lapis. We have a gold farm. And these guys give me quite a bit of emeralds. So besides that, I suppose fuel. Coal. We do need to mine for coal still if we want it, but... Coal is kind of, unless you're making torches, coal isn't really super necessary either. I don't use it as a fuel source once I have access to bamboo, so all good there. Now I am going to turn off the camera because I have got to convert quite a few more villagers, and the process does take a long time. And I'm probably going to run out of golden apples as well. Also, my zombie in here died. I had to get a new one, unfortunately. I made the mistake, it was last night, and I was trying to convert a zombie that didn't have an occupation. And when you do that, there's a bug where they won't go back into their minecart afterwards if they don't have an occupation before they're converted. It's kind of a weird bug and pretty niche, and unless you're doing something like this, it doesn't really bother anyone, but it made it so that the zombie was walking around and he bumped the cart into the wall, and I believe my zombie suffocated. So that set me back a little bit, and it took me a while to figure out why the heck that was happening, but it was just me being stupid. I forgot to give him a job before the conversion process, so I wasted some golden apples and some potions, but we won't be making that mistake again. And our villager breeder looks to be pretty fully stocked. We should get another few guys out of this. I think I'll need to do some crop farming, though, and toss some up there because, yeah, I think they're out of food. So let's turn off the camera and get to work on converting. And after almost everything that could go wrong going wrong, we finally have 10 clerics. Woo! That took a long time. The conversion process, I had to breed more villagers, I had to go and get more gold for apples. It was just a lot, but it is done now, thankfully. So we can go on with our lives, and I don't know what we are going to be doing next. I probably should have thought of that before I started recording this clip, but that's okay. Let's finish up this floor here, just making use of some of those mushroom blocks, which I actually think do look pretty darn snazzy. And I'm not gonna get too close to those pillars because I have some levers underneath them that are keeping those trap doors up. They need to be powered in order to be in that vertical position. So I am just going to swap out a little bit of this just for this kind of funky carpet design that I really am into right now. I might need to go get some more mushrooms, though. Thankfully, that is one thing that we probably will never run out of on this island, is mushroom blocks. Yeah, I think that this design for the carpet is going to work well for us. Also, now we can trade for ender pearls, which is great because if I want to get underneath here, I basically need to ender pearl out. So let's collect all of our stuff. And, I mean, I guess I could just break blocks, but where's the fun in that now that we have a lifetime supply of ender pearls? Ah! Okay, so it's not a perfect process. There are some kinks to work out, but for the most part, it works pretty good. So we're just going to keep our supply of rotten flesh over here for these guys to trade, and some of them actually, okay, well, they've jumped up to 27 now, but they were on 2. So they started at 1, and some of them have already gone up to 2 rotten flesh per trade now. So we might need to get a kind of a villager zombie converter on a stick over in this area, because if we have the conversion process closer to this hall, they will grant additional discounts in the future. Not too worried about it right now. I have the rotten flesh basically turned off in the gold farm right now. It's not filtering in, it just all gets incinerated, but I can easily turn that on, and we'll have a double chest full of rotten flesh in no time. So rotten flesh really isn't an issue for getting. So yeah, I think that we are just about done here. And I think what I'm going to do is probably pop some doors on here and get this sorted so that no mobs, if they do spawn, maybe on this beach that I created, if they do spawn there, then they're not going to come in here and bother our team. So we are going to eventually fill up this place with some more stuff, more villager trading, probably not more clerics because we don't need them, but I'll find another occupation that fits good in here. But I don't think that's what we're going to do for the rest of the episode. I would like to continue on kind of beautifying this area a little bit, and what I think it needs is a ship right here. Not much of a port or a harbor without ships coming to dock, so I'm going to look up some designs. Shipbuilding is not something that I have done before, so I will need to probably look up a few ideas and then work out what colors I'm going to use. Also, I built this cute little pond. Very cute. There's mushroom blocks in there as well. Really just trying to burn up those extra mushroom blocks that we have. But you can see kind of how this town is going to work itself out, like building, 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 and then in between the buildings, we're going to kind of, just like in this grassy area here, we're just going to kind of have little transition areas to fill them in. So we'll probably put another one right here, maybe a bakery or something for some food villagers that we need to breed up. But yeah, so it's coming together, and I'm very happy with it. Also, this building is still completely empty because of how wildly impractical it is to put villagers in here, but we will maybe try and make use of it somehow. There's got to be something that is perfect for that building. If you have an idea, let me know what we can put in there. Even a farm, I would be down with a farm, something that we can trade in the area to these guys that we can farm maybe vertically. But yeah, for now, that'll just stay the way it is. This building so far is just home to one lonely villager, and this guy is how I was getting basically all of my emeralds before. He's got some great trades for the melons and the pumpkins, but now that we've got a bunch of really good trades, he isn't as useful, so we'll figure out something to do with this one as well. But even if they just sit here aesthetically, I'm glad that we have them. Also, this is empty too. The first buildings that I made are completely empty just because of how impractical they are. All right, so let me look up a design for a ship and we'll see what we can get going with what time we have left in the episode. And this is what we ended up coming up with. This is kind of the frame in for our ship. Now, I found an, I don't know, not a video tutorial, but just like a picture tutorial on Google Images, and it looks great. This is an amazing looking ship, and I'm really into it, but I don't know if I've actually built it right. And I was just looking at the infographic again, that's why I was standing still. It might be too low in the water now that I'm looking at it, so I'm gonna see if I can find a way to keep it like this, or maybe just build off of the frame as is, because I don't know if I really need a ship where like you can go into the hull of it. It's more of an aesthetic thing, so I don't want it out of the water too high, otherwise it'll look kind of silly here in our port. So I might need to make some adjustments to it just to make it a little more appropriate to the scale that we're working with here. But I like the length of it, and if anything, I would shorten it up maybe just a hair in the back. It's a little bit close to here. So we will work with the picture that we found kind of as a loose guideline, but it definitely helped me with the frame. Like I said, I've never built a ship before in Minecraft, so it's kind of one of those things where it could go real bad if you take a first attempt at it not knowing anything about it. So let me keep plugging away at this here and see if I can make it work, and if not, then we can raise this up a little bit. It's not a big deal. So I've got a little bit more done here, and I think that we're going to be able to make it work at the level it's on right now. It'll just be a much more narrow ship than the one in the tutorial, but that is okay. And now we finally get to use our sponges, because we need to empty this thing out. And I think the key with sponges is to just keep going so that they don't, the water sources don't like replenish each other. So let's see, we have a ton of them, so... Oh, I'm so sorry, salmon. Lovely! Oh, and I put my hoe back. Oh, that was stupid of me. Okay, wow. Sponges, you don't need them all the time, but when you do need them, boy, they come in handy. That would have taken much longer if I had to do it... Oh, I'm sorry, salmon. If I had to do it by hand. And now that that water is out, we can get a much better picture of what this ship is going to look like when it has a deck on it. Now... what to do next? Well, you'll notice I used the red terracotta underneath kind of as an accent color, and I think if I have enough of it, I'm going to try and use the dark prismarine on top to have that red and green contrasting colors. I think that that'll look really good and still provide like a cool naval theme. You know, you could go pirate, you could go Royal Navy with it, but I think those two will match up really good. Quick progress update. I have made quite a bit of progress, as it turns out. We're just getting these lines in right now, and I think this is turning out really nice. Yeah, definitely different than the picture that I looked at. It's going to be much smaller, much less imposing. This cabin will be far smaller, but that's not really a big deal. I still like the colors and the looks of it, and how it all is turning out so far. This is also just empty right now, but This place is actually the only place around here with land that mobs can spawn on. So I do need to do a bit of mob proofing on it as well, but we can do that once I know where the sails are going to go. I don't think these bottom ones are going to get sails, so we don't have to worry about like bumping our heads or anything like that. And then underneath here, I might stick some fishermen villagers and do kind of a little trading area down here for the fishermen. Not that I need a ton of fishermen, but, you know, we've got the space. We might as well use it for something. So yeah, I'm also trying to incorporate a few brighter colors in here, so just tossing in some prismarine as well. I'm actually really enjoying the green theme that we've got going on here with the water. I think that it looks really good. So let's get the rest of these lines in and then see if we can get our sails up, and then we'll be looking pretty good. Probably just some minor detailing to do around the ship, but then we will be just about done. And this is what our port looks like now. That ship turned out wonderful. Very happy with it. Glad we still had some dark prismarine, that's the one, I was about to say obsidian, some dark prismarine to use, because I think that those colors work really good. So we're basically done with the ship now. Everything except for a very important thing for a ship, and that is the name. Now, I don't have a great name cooked up, but I know one of you might. So hit me up with your name suggestions in the comments, because this beauty definitely can't go unnamed for very long. So let me know your name suggestions. I'll either pick the best one or maybe do a random thing if there's a couple of them. But yeah, this turned out really great. And I'm almost with the dark prismarine stairs upside down like that, kind of almost getting like a cross between like an Eastern European and like a bit of an Asian ship vibe to it. So yeah, it definitely turned out different than the picture that I was following, but I think that it turned out great nonetheless. So that does it for the ship. And if you want the full tour, not a whole heck of a lot going on in here right now. I will still have to go around and light it up so that no mobs can spawn. Back here, we can see our librarians. This wraps all the way around. And then if we want to go below deck, there's a little ladder right there. And then, yeah, just the below deck area here. And this will be a perfect area to store some villagers as well. Just got to make sure that no mobs can spawn, because that would be bad. And that's going to do it for this episode. It's a little shorter, probably, by the time I'm done editing everything. But I wanted to get this out ASAP because 1.17 is upon us. And I think it actually might come out tomorrow officially. I just looked it up. Yep, it is tomorrow. So I am going to try and get this episode out tonight on June 7th. I'm going to hop into the editing booth here and get cracking on that so that we have a fresh, brand new episode for 1.17, and maybe I'll explore some of the new blocks and we'll go on a little adventure, maybe find some wandering traders. Shouldn't be hard. They're literally always floating in this bay. There is so many llamas in the lakes and the ocean around my base. It's insane. They look like there's a few over there now. I at one point flew over and there was at least 10. Oh, there they are. Yep. I don't know how they keep getting out here or what is going on, but they don't despawn and there's so many of them already. So hopefully we get good luck with the Wandering Trader after 1.17, because that is how we are going to get a few new blocks, and then we'll go on an adventure for Deep Slate as well, because boy howdy am I excited for Deep Slate. And candles. Candles are going to be great too. And copper. It's all going to be great. So that is going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Fiasco, and I'll catch you in the next one.